Good reminder. Even though I wrote a reminder to myself, I totally forgot it. Okay, so we're looking to see where two lines cross at the same time. So let's start with this one before we even get to pictures. So Alex kind of already somewhat told us a solution of a line. Actually, I think this is what I said out loud probably. A solution of a line is when you put in the x and the y and the numbers work out. Alex, do you want to roll again?
27.
27. I definitely did not number that high yet. This is going to take me a minute. I'm only at number 6 on the chart. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21, 22. Monica, you are 27.
What was the question?
I didn't ask when, I was still numbering.
Oh, okay.
I just figured I'd give you a warning. Okay, so my question is, how do I check if 2, 4 is a solution? Let's just look at the top one. Let's not even look at both lines. When we say the numbers work, what does that kind of mean?
Like they can function in that equation,
No, I mean,
Like
what you're saying is not wrong. It's kind of hard to describe.
Yeah, I don't really.
Can anybody think of a kind of a quick description on how we know if numbers work in an equation?
Like if you plug them in, then you'll like get them.
Then we'll what?
Then you'll get like the right outcome.
You're correct.
Isn't it like you said, if you plug them in and the outcome is like a number that is real?
Well, it's hard to describe, isn't it? Yeah, look.
Like if you put the numbers in polarity, it would equal -6 or equal 8.
Okay, good. So if we say the numbers work, that means we're going to put them in place of x and y, and the equal sign will be true. So in this case, the left side would have to turn into -6. And so then that way, -6 would equal -6. That would be true. That's what we mean when we say it works. So a simultaneous solution is to check if the point 2, 4 works in both of them at the same time. If the answer is no for either one of them, I'll write this up here. If no for either, it's no for the whole question. So these are called simultaneous solutions, which is horrible, right? I'm gonna run out of space. Simultaneous. Simultaneous solutions means it has to work in both. So if it doesn't work in both, then it's not. What do we have? Kylie, you ready? Can you go up there and write if 2, 4 is a solution of the top one? Would you like to bring somebody with you for moral support? Would that be easier? I don't think she looked like she wanted to agree to that either. What's so bad about coming up to the board? Okay, tell me what to do for the top one then. How do I check if 2, 4 works in the top one? So tell me what to write, that'd probably be easier.
2 minus 2 times 4. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I'm checking if the top one works. So 2 minus 8, that does equal -6. So -6 equals -6. That works. you wanna do the bottom one, or do you have somebody else do the bottom one? Okay.
So 2 times 2 plus 4.
So we've got 4 plus 4, which is 8, and that works out because that's what we're checking for. So since it works in both of them, then we would say yes. And only because it works in both. And it's not that these questions are hard at all. Go ahead.
So if it works in one but not in the other, what do you push?
No. The whole answer would be no.
Okay.
And honestly, if the first one you tested in comes out to be a no, you can stop there. You don't have to test the other one if the first one's a no. These questions will end up being easy. The hard part for most is just even understanding what it's asking. It's not the actual work. You guys feel like you could try one on your own? Excellent. And then we will have somebody come up here and write their info up on the board. Oh, I forgot to shut off the sound.
$21.
21. Onyx.
No, it's doesn't work.
How come?
The top solution works because.
How do you know that?
2 is 6 and.
You know what would be a great way to know how you know that?
uh,
Write it out.
on the board.
Yeah. There we go. We need to get you guys using the board more. Everybody's too scared to stand up. I like it. Not only that, I think this was the class I found out that none of you have really ever written on a whiteboard. Which just seems weird to me. Like that is kind of the whole purpose of these whiteboards was so that you guys could go up there and you just erase it if something's screwed up. Like it's so much easier. You guys don't even know the pain of chalkboards. Chalkboards ridiculously dry out your fingers. Oh, sorry, go ahead. You keep working. You didn't have to explain it out loud. I just was hoping you could write your work up there. We'll have somebody else explain it. I feel like if you come up to write at the board, you shouldn't need to explain it at the same time.
Can I explain?
Can you? Yeah, you absolutely can.
So this is top right is right because 12 equals 12 when you put in all the numbers, but the entire solution is wrong because this 8 times 3 equals 24, but it's subtracted by 12, so 12 does not equal 24, so this entire thing is wrong.
Okay, so 3,2 is a solution of the top equation, but it is not a solution of the bottom equation. So that means it's not a solution to both.
It's not.
So at the very end, you can write no. Then we are actually answering the question. Perfect. Nice job. Thank you. Any questions on this? Like maybe somebody put in their numbers wrong, not sure why, I don't know. Does this topic feel okay probably? Okay. I didn't want to take too long. I figured you'd feel okay at this topic because the work itself is pretty easy. Okay, last one. This I was unsure how you would feel of. It's been quite a while since we actually graphed anything. So I'll say this. If you know the correct way to graph lines, you are more than welcome to do that. This section assumes that you don't remember that at all, even though I know you've been taught it like 4 times.
I still don't remember.
That's okay. That's why we're going to assume that you don't know it. Yes? Wait, so now you're volunteering? When you say can you graph that, how are you planning on graphing it?
Going up there and drawing it on the board.
Didn't mean that. What method would you use to graph it?
That I solved it. Like, the first one who finds it.
I'll let you just take it over. How's that? Since you wanted to volunteer for this one.
Actually, no, you made me feel really.
I wasn't questioning that you didn't know how to do it.
Okay, well now, since you questioned me, I'm questioning that I don't know how to do it. Every cause has a reaction.
So just because I spoke to you, this was enough to throw you off your confidence.
Yeah.
Okay, understandable. So what I'm going to show you first is a correct way to graph it and not the way in the book. So this was definitely taught in Algebra 1, but it was 2 years ago, so you may or may not remember it. This is called standard form or general form, depending on the book. And you can graph intercepts with this method. You cover up the y, and then this says x equals 4. So this top one has an x-intercept of 4. That top line crosses at 4. Then you're going to cover up the x. And then that means you have a y-intercept of 4. So the top line would look like that. This is not the way that's in the textbook, but I think is a million times easier than the table.
Wait, can you just, I'm so
I'm going to
sorry.
do it again, yeah, definitely. Bottom equation. No. So the top equation was in what's called standard form or general form because the x's and y's were together equal to a number. The bottom one isn't in that form, but we can put it in that form if we want to. So you can move the letters so that they are on the correct sides. So I'm going to guess most of you would subtract x. And then this would say negative x plus 2y. Oh, I forgot to subtract 4. Negative x plus 2y equals negative 4. Now I've got the x's and y's on one side equal to a number. So if I put my hand over the x's, then this says 2y equals negative 4. Divide by 2 in your head or on paper, and the y-intercept is negative 2. Then I can put my hand over the y's. Oh, if you don't know how, if this way doesn't seem right, that's fine.
No.
I'm gonna show
I
multiple.
was like talking to myself, but it was loud.
Oh, no, I'm going to show multiple ways. So if you want to cover up the y's, then this would say negative x equals negative 4. Divide by negative 1 in your head, and you get x equals 4. And that's an x-intercept of 4. That's called intercept graphing. You were taught it in Algebra 1, but it was quite a while ago. Do you guys want me to go through that method again real fast? Okay. I will definitely show you the table method after this, though. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. I was going to do it again, it's just so I could show all of it.
And where did the y go when you like subtracted x from that side? Where did you put the y?
Ah. So this is called intercept graphing, which means you put 0 in place of the other number. Which is why I covered it up with my finger.
Oh, you did X and then you do that.
Yep, so like if I redo this top one, because the top one's easy. If I cover up the Y, then this says X equals 4, and that's my x-intercept of the first one. I didn't color code very good. And then if I put my hand over the x, it says y equals 4. So then that's my y-intercept. Now this one was super easy because it was just a single x, a single y. And I think that's what you were asking, right? How did I get rid of the negative and all that kind of stuff? The second one, you know what? We don't even need to rearrange it. Maybe I won't, because that might confuse you. Honestly, you just need to cover up the term with the x or the y. So if I cover up the y term, this says x equals 4. And that means the second equation has an x-intercept of 4. If I cover up the x, this one's kind of weird for that though. This says 2y plus 4 equals 0. And then, so that's kind of like a little equation I'd have to solve. So minus 4, because I'm trying to get y by itself. Divide by 2. So then you get y equals -2, and that's the y-intercept for the second one. So this is called intercept graphing. And I thought it would probably be easier for you to do that with this section, but go ahead.
Wait, when you covered up the Y to find the X one, you cover up the 2 with it?
Yeah, so essentially I put 0 in place of y. That's what's, like mathematically, that's what's actually happening.
Right.
But what ends up happening is it's not there anymore. Okay, the real way to do these in the textbook. So I wanted to show you this method first because I think it's probably easier for you to do than the tables. But I'm sure some of you, this might have been confusing. So the method that the book had was for you to make a table. And a table for these is actually fine because you only need 2 points. You just need to pick 2 x's, and probably the easiest 2. So if I put 0 in place of x, this would say y equals 4. If I put 1 in place of x, this would say 1 plus y equals 4. So I subtract 1, y equals 3. So if I did 0, 4, and 1, 3, I could draw a line from that. Go ahead.
Those are 2 different methods?
2 totally different methods. So this is called the table method of graphing. The first one is called intercepts. They give you the same picture. So whatever you find easier, you could do. Second one, I'll do in red here. So 2y plus 4 equals x. I'm going to make a little table with 2 points again. And I'll pick my easiest numbers possible. Actually, yeah, we'll just go with that. So 0 and 1. So if I put 0 in place of x, it doesn't work out terribly nice because it's on the right-hand side, but that's okay. This is the same thing I did the other way. So I'd have to solve this for y, so subtract 4, divide by 2. I don't have any space, so I'm just going to pretend that we did that. Then I would put 1 in place of x. And putting 1 in place of x, subtract 4, so that'd be -3. So -1.5. Okay, so 0, -2, which we did the other method. 1, -1.5. Well, it's right there. And then I could make a line out of that. And then the whole goal of this question is to figure out where they cross, because that's a simultaneous solution. Now, sometimes it'll be super obvious, sometimes it won't. You just need to guess. Like, if your answer isn't perfect, not a big deal. You may not have the exact answer from the answer key. You just need to say about where they cross, because if you graph with the table method, your line may end up like slightly crooked or something, because like drawing a straight line is actually hard. This is where they cross, which is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. So that's my simultaneous solution. So the previous questions, we were just given a point and said, is that a simultaneous solution? These, we're given the equations and we're supposed to actually find the simultaneous solution. Now, you might have a ton of questions, I don't really know. I have one for you to try on your own.
Oh, can you do whatever method you want?
You can choose whatever method you want. You don't have to do a table. No, I showed you that other method in case you wanted to do that instead. Because a lot of people like that other method because you can just kind of do it in your head. See, you're really gentle with that. See, I roll it too hard and the ball just gets thrown out. So. 8. Number 8 is Abhinav. If you could, I was hoping you could go up there and graph the top equation. Let me, I'll put on, I forgot to put lines here. And then who's going to graph the other one for us? You can go whenever.
25.
25. Chi-Ling, do you think you could graph the bottom one for us? Excellent. Just make sure you guys don't graph at the same time. And third person who's going to actually answer the question.
Number 6.
JP. So after they graph both lines, I was hoping you could just tell us the answer to the question. Okay. Yep, yeah, you definitely have to push harder. Did you solve for y and do it that way? Okay, you can.
So we need to graph it.
Mm-hmm. That's all I actually wanted you to do in the first place. It's okay if you did that to show your work, how you did it. So up 2. Yep. No. Go up 2, make a point. So you're doing slope-intercept version of graphing. So from that point, you go up 3 over 1. Yep. Nope. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. You counted right. I counted wrong. Wait, 1, 2, 3. No, up 1 point. Right there. That's 3. That's 3 down. Nope. Right there. Right, that's 3 down. Yep. There you go. You could just estimate it. We don't have a nice graph, so just draw a line. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. And you guys might have graphed it totally different. Like if you did the intercepts, I think you would have gotten 2 and is it supposed to be negative 1.5 or something? No. 2/3. 2/3. I know it's actually crazy hard to draw a straight line on the whiteboard. It seems like it should be so easy, but it's really hard to draw a straight line on the whiteboard. Okay, now most of you should have graphs that look similar to that. If it's not exactly like that, that's fine. JP, how do we find the answer from a graph?
Where they intersect.
Perfect. So what did you say? It's a guess because you don't have to have a perfect answer. You estimate.
For the y,
Looks like 5-ish high.
6 maybe.
Okay, sure.
And then for the x,
1. Okay, that works for me. So if you said something close to 1.5 or 1.6, that's good. Now, obviously, there's a way we could test it. Like, we could just put the numbers in here to see if it worked. Go ahead.
Wait, how do you get that wrong?
He graphed it a different method. Did you want me to, like, which way did you try to do it? Okay, so then that should have been y equals 2. So that was right there. And then that would have been negative 2/3, which is right here.
So you could just get rid of the negative sign?
Well, you mean on the y?
Yeah.
Like when you cover it up? Well, if you put 0 in place of it, minus 0 is nothing. So the minus doesn't affect anything.
So you just take out the. You just cover up one of the.
It's called intercept graphing.
Yeah.
You cover up one term.
And that's the points that you graph.
Yeah, works every time.
So for the first one, you would cover up.
You cover up the x term.
You cover up the one if they have a digit in front of it.
Well, you technically put a 0 in place of it.
Okay.
But the way to do that is, like, you can physically cover it up and it works the same.
So it'd be y equals 2, right?
Yep,
Because the negatives cancel.
Correct.
And then for the second one, you cover up y, and it's x equals -4.
negative 2/3. You have to divide by 3.
For the second one.
Oh, second one, sorry. X equals negative 4 and y equals positive 4? Yeah. Yeah, that method, once you get the hang of that method, it goes really fast. And is much faster than this table or anything. Okay, good. There's your homework on it. Now, tomorrow I'll finish 3-1. We'll do the methods that we didn't do today. What kind of what? Like, kind of biology? Yeah, I actually do.
Go through that way.
We actually have an entire bucket of them, but. So these should go pretty quickly. Half of them, you're just checking to see if the answer works. The other half, you're graphing the 2 lines, and then depending on the method you choose, goes pretty quick. I'm just looking for an approximate answer. Okay, let's stop the recording.